Hey everybody, welcome back. We are the Fantasy Rugby Yanks. My name's Jared Dyke.
I'm Ben Gloucester.
Let's do this. Oh man, Champions Cup round 1, done.
Done. Wow. What a weekend.
Yeah, no kidding. I watched 10 matches. I didn't feel like I watched 10 matches.
I don't know how many I watched, to be honest, because I watched 2
Probably
at a time
close.
sometimes.
Does that count? Is there a multiplier in there?
Right. Yeah, just a shitload of rugby. But good stuff. Like it's one thing when you get through
about 95% good stuff.
Right. Like there's a reason why we watch Prem and then not really anything else, because like you can only take so. There's sometimes when I'm like, I don't want to watch this 6th match because I.
Oh yeah, I know. You get out.
It's been garbage. It's been a bad week.
Oh, that well. Man, we'll talk about one of the ones that was garbage in a little bit here, but yeah. What's dino-beer?
Yeah.
Must. Say, wait a minute. Why are we waiting for this? For no reason. Obviously, find us where you get your favorite podcasts. Download us, subscribe to us, rate us, all those good things. Let us know what you think. Email the podcast if you want.
You know what I'd like to know from you people out there in Podland?
Oh, that one.
How did you find us?
That's interesting.
I would like to know these things.
Yeah, that'd be a good.
So even if you don't want to tell us how much we suck, tell us how you found us and how you've come to be disappointed by us or entertained. Preferably entertained.
That's disappointing right there. Oh boy. Look up our friend, the Fantasy Rugby Geek, George. He's obviously going to be keen with all kinds of tips this weekend as well. Lots of matches to pick through and find the right players, and we'll try and do our best later on today. But yeah, give that man a coffee / beer / whatever you wish to call it that you're buying the man.
Exactly.
Give it to him.
He deserves it.
Yeah,
Give
absolutely.
It to him.
TRM upgrades. Next weekend, we're going to be back in the Prem. Remember that. And do you really want to be like hungover after your Christmas drinks and trying to sort through the lineups?
You don't.
No, you don't. Trust me, you do not. And because I've been there, been there a few times. So no, you don't. You want to be able to just look at your beautiful TRM app or your TRM web browser and go, he's starting. Cool, play. End.
Done.
Don't screw around with it more than that. Trust me, it ends poorly. And of course, they're supporting RPA. So what's so bad about it? You know, nothing bad about that. As always, Black Lives Matter to the Fantasy Rugby Yanks. We are absolutely 100% wholly against racism in any way, shape, or form, and discrimination in any way, shape, or form. Really, there's no point in it. We're all humans. Yeah. We're all here. Trust me. There's humans that are great in all shapes and sizes, and there are humans that suck in all shapes and sizes too. But we want to emphasize the great ones and not discriminate them because they aren't looking like Ben or I or anybody else, right?
And I want to bring attention to a trend that's happening again in the U.S. that we've seen in the past, and it just has not gotten enough attention. So I don't have much of a way to bring it, but I will here to bring attention to it. For the second time in a month, a person involved with the Breonna Taylor protests has been murdered. This time it was awful. Chris Smith. A few weeks ago, it was Travis Nagdy. We saw this with Ferguson. The protest leaders there were murdered in suspicious circumstances, and this doesn't happen to people normally. And it's a major problem, I guess the people who are against these people have sorted out that it's better to kill them before they become too famous, so that way they can't become national martyrs. But it's important that the rest of us then remember what these people stood for, because we need to take up the struggle from them and say we're not going to be intimidated.
Absolutely, and it can't just be people like these that pull up the signs for racism and Black Lives Matter and equality, because they've been doing it for years. It's time for everybody else to get in the fight.
And it's important. Yeah, it is important to practice this in your own life. And it's not hard to just have these conversations with friends and family, and you don't have to be a dick about it. That's the best part. When I first came back to Boston Rugby, and we were there, somebody made an offhand joke about so, players off the field habits, and another, and I didn't know quite how to respond. And one of the other our leaders stepped up and said, "Yeah, but whatever he does in his own time, that's not what we don't like him. We don't like him because of this."
Yeah, absolutely.
and it's like, oh yeah, that's true. Like, it's very easy to just deflect the conversation away from that and say, you know what? No, that's not.
Yeah,
we're not going to use that as an insult. We have there's other reasons to not like this person. Let's just stick with them.
Yeah, let's ride that out.
So there's ways around it. Please practice them with your friends and family in non-confrontational ways and ways that'll help them to grow.
Conversations, not arguments, is a big difference. Okay, and for those of you that don't know, and if you're listening to this podcast, you probably do know this, we're reaching episode 100 next month. It's going to be so much fun.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. People are just like, well, it's 100. It's like, dude, we didn't know we'd get to 100. Yeah. So, I mean, yes, we didn't. We could have stopped, and that was more the point. Like, we could have easily just packed it in and said, this fucking shit's not happening. And we didn't. And we've had support from a lot of people. So it's really, in a way, it's celebrating the people that have supported us that we were able to spur on and get here. Because, if we, you and I are not somebody to give a shit about what other people think. But when you're encouraged by other people, it does help you just continue to soldier on. And not that we're doing anything super difficult here, but there are days where Ben and I have both experienced them where we're both sitting there crunching the numbers and go, I'm going to kill something. So
I was so mad. I was getting almost a little bit of carpal tunnel last night. So I was like, I'm just putting this away. Like I'm like on the couch trying to manage spreadsheets on a Mac. And I was like, nope.
Whoops.
No, I'm misusing this piece of equipment. So I'm just going to stop for today.
Yeah, time to stop for today. That's good. So yeah, we will be doing it. We will do our best to broadcast it live if we can, and we'll have some of our old friends in, and then possibly other guests that haven't yet actually appeared on the podcast. So we'll see. But either way, it's going to be a fun time, and we're going to make it very different. Email if you have questions for us, tweet at us or email us, and we would be happy to discuss them on episode 100. So yeah, keep an eye out for that next month. News cycle, World Cup draw. How we feeling? Hosts get the Kiwis as they planned on. I mean, I guess you could say that because the French do have quite a number on the Kiwis.
There's no history of France versus New Zealand in France, right?
Never ever.
No, it's fantastic. And there was talk about it being the opening match. Which, obviously among fans, because that's what we want to see.
That's what we want to see.
And I actually, I thought about it a little bit, and I was like, it doesn't make sense. You want them to ease into it. And then I realized that, no, these are teams that will have pre-World Cup matches to get ready for it.
Yes.
They will come in as ready as they're going to be. Let's do it. Like, let's just put the nuts on the table right there and see whose hammer comes down first.
I got a few bets on it, but we'll see. It could, with the form of the French, it could be very interesting. We don't know if the French are going to peak too early. We've seen it. We've seen teams do it, but we'll find out, I guess, once that rolls around in 2023. The U.S.'s possible pools will be Pool A or Pool B. So we're either looking at potentially, if we get the America's one spot, depending on how qualifying goes, we could have New Zealand.
I almost want America 2.
Yeah. Well, you could have New Zealand, France, Italy. Italy's Italy. We'll see what they. They're always a tier 1 just because they fend off everything else that's underneath them, but they can never just punch above it. They're almost in a weird tier of their own. And then Africa 1, which you presume is going to be Namibia.
Right.
But maybe somebody sneaks in there. I don't know what their qualifying is going to look like. So
yeah,
wish I knew enough about it. Or on the other side of it, we're looking at England, Japan, Argentina, and Oceania 1, which is probably going to be one of the other island nations, which I'm not super excited about.
That's true.
It's not Fiji, but I also don't like playing Samoa or Tonga because they usually have our number.
They do. So. And it's usually frustrating as fuck to lose to them because you're like, we're better than they are, but they're just playing better rugby. Like, we are better athletes and everything, but they're just doing stuff, and we're like, wait, we don't know how to do that.
No. because we have some. No, well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the development is of some of the young guys that the U.S. have. They've been pushing through recently.
They've got some players now as we're seeing it, and it's no longer starting to be a oh wow, there's an American on this team and he's playing well. It's more of a okay, yeah, this guy he's one of the Yanks.
Yeah, he's quite good.
Yeah, okay, that's
a few of them.
Right. It's no longer the oddity or the spectacle. Oh, we have an American here. Oh, and look at him. He's trying to play rugby.
Oh, he's so cute. Look at that. Yeah, we don't have that anymore, thankfully. Oh, man. So we'll see how that goes. But 2023, France, look out. Here we come.
Right.
We are on the train. Fly half revolving door at Gloucester.
Craziness happening today.
Many announcements today. It was leaked that Hastings could be on his way, and sure enough, Gloucester have announced the signing of Adam Hastings coming to Kingsholm.
And then a day later,
Sips decides he's out, and I have such a heart for Danny Cipriani. He's had a tough 18 months.
He has.
He really has.
It's not been good or easy.
So whatever his decision is, you have to respect it, because he's probably got some things to figure out before he figures out what his next move is. Whether it is he wants to go play for another club, play for overseas, whatever.
He should do whatever the fuck makes him happy at this point.
At this point, absolutely, I agree.
Yeah.
You know, he and his wife are very happy, obviously, and I think that's what he wants to focus on right now is him and the missus. So.
And that's all he really should.
Yeah,
that's what he should be focused on, because he's trying to force something that's not working for whatever reason. It's not working. It's and he's an incredibly talented player, and I think this is good for him ultimately. It's not good for him, but it's good that it kind of frees him up a little bit to just say, you know what, I've given it my best shot over here. He's 33,
something like that,
something like that in his 30s. Just come play in the U.S.
Yeah, we'll take you.
Absolutely. Or go to Japan. Just go. Or go to France. Shit, he'd do well in France.
Yeah, he'll do just fine there if he wants to.
So there's all sorts of stuff he can do.
Agreed.
Or even go play Super Rugby if he wants to go hang out down there a little bit.
Whatever the man chooses to do right now, he's
right. I don't think he should be limited to the Prem at this point.
Nope, I don't either. I think Eddie's Eddie. So just move on with that and go do what you feel like, man. But yeah, Hastings going to Gloucester should be very interesting. I think this will increase his development as a 10, and will give. I mean, they have 2 solid 10s in Scotland, so unfortunately 2 of them broke while they were playing these internationals recently, which was not ideal.
Not bad, though.
Yeah, weird. We shall see how that goes, but it certainly will be an uptick to Gloucester for sure. And then we have to recognize one of our own, Kate Zachary, Player of the Month for the Exeter women, just being a general terror around the breakdown as she usually is, and playing super duper defense. And then she also got herself over the line, and she just for all accounts she's leading the charge on the ball carrying and the defense. So sounds like they had 2 wins this month, or last month, excuse me. So and they pushed Wasp, who are very good. Premier 15's team to the edge. So
you're right, and this is an Exeter team that's essentially brand new,
pretty much.
So it's impressive that they're playing well, and that it's especially impressive for her that she's a part of it and excelling. Yeah,
she's doing quite well from it, and she's very, very well respected amongst the team there. So hey, good on you, Kate. Way to go.
Put it this way: when I mentioned her name to my wife. Jess was like, "Oh, I like Kate Zachary. Like, she doesn't like all the Eagles. Let's put it that way."
We know that. This I know.
So yeah, she was like, "Oh yeah, she deserves it. That's good."
Good. We like those. We like those types. We like those types. Small note: London dropped to tier 3 over in the UK. There was quite a spike, I guess, in London. So they're gonna just take the caution and take away the fans for now, which sucks because it was so good to see the fans the last few weeks. In the stands, but it's the right decision. Fans will come back, and I'm sure we'll see him back soon. But while there's a little bit of a spike, you got to be very cautious of it. We don't need a bigger spread. So unfortunate, but correct. And then it's tradition. We have to shit on this.
You're right. Although I don't know if it's their fault, but it doesn't matter. They're taking the shit.
No, but they're taking the shit for it because there's more than just this reason. This is a microcosm of the whole freaking thing. So if you didn't see the action that Ben and I were giving back and forth during one of the matches, no clock or scoreboard in the corner of the screen, and I can guarantee you BT was not screwing that up. That was definitely on Peacock. Because they had graphics that they weren't showing beforehand with the lineups and such. I'm like, this is not BT. This is definitely Peacock screwing this up. So,
because they still had the other graphics. It was just that one wasn't coming through.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you guys doing?
And it's like, I was like, it's just Jared was like, wait, what's the score? And I was like, I remember it being 5-3. This is not something that would be acceptable,
if this was an NFL game or even a college football game, like. And I know we're not that, but I don't give a shit. At least give us the minimum.
If you're airing, so here's the thing: if you're airing it, you have to, you should be having someone watching it, at least to see like,
oh shit,
what look for this. If you're missing this,
there's a problem.
Let us know and we'll fix it. Something like that. But yeah.
So and it went in and out, and just super annoying. So anyway,
I mean, of course, that wasn't aided by the fact that. It was a 5-3 match, actual 8-3 match, and it was like at halftime. So it was not a good match that we were watching.
No, it wasn't.
So it's one of those.
Gave me a lot of time to think.
Right.
I had a lot to think about during that time.
I'm going to look around the screen because what's in the middle is not very entertaining. I'm going to look at the corner. Oh, yeah, there's nothing there.
Yeah, it's super. But, I will say, this is supposed to be a better platform that NBC has moved to. If you don't know what NBC is, it's one of the networks over here. They've changed it from NBC Sports Gold, which is what we used to have to cough up for, to Peacock. Now, Peacock supposedly provides more. I've watched more Premier League matches than I have in a long time, so I'm not sad about it. But the quality on there is perfectly fine because that's one of their products.
Thing for them.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the platform and finding the matches and just the general layout sucks. It's such a pain in the ass to get around.
Complete pain in the ass.
For something that's supposed to be an upgrade, this is a downgrade.
Right.
Sorry. Also, we only get to catalog it for 30 days.
Yeah. So we only get to go back and watch replays for 30 days.
And I like to watch some replays sometimes, just when there ain't nothing else to do. And I'm like, I got nothing else to do. I'll watch a rugby match. This would be nice. And unfortunately, I get to. I guess my choices get limited.
Yeah, which is kind of crap. I enjoy, especially as a coach. Sometimes I want to go back and watch a match to see something or see if I can pull something from it. And, oh well, I'll have to take better notes and do it real quick then.
Yeah, I guess so. So anyway, those are our gripes. We must. And if somebody out there could ever just do a good, take an independent platform and do a good job with one league, don't overreach, one foreign league, and just nail it, I would totally be behind.
Right, pre-game shows, halftime shows, post-game shows, analysis, that shit would be awesome, and I think it would help with the viewership because right now, you're not, there's no real explanation, and halftime it just goes dead. They really do at this point. They need a studio show, even if it's one of those you look at the halftime shows for football, and I'm sure a lot of it actually being able to see more games in recent years than just the one that's being broadcast live over the air. You notice that they probably all the highlight stuff, they just record that and then they play that, and they might do a little bit of live banter during halftime, but most of that's recorded because it's all the same shit. If you actually hear it 2 or 3 times in a halftime, you're like, oh, okay, this isn't actually live. But yeah, so it's they can still do that, but also have a little bit of commentary about the game you're watching, and then boom, you're done. It's really not that difficult, and I know it's a little bit more expensive, and that would change things a little bit, but give some presentation, give some production. Yeah,
like I said, one league, and knock it out of the park.
Make it a show.
I will back that 100%, and when I say back that, I mean watch it and financially back it with the best of my ability, at least. So there's that. So let's talk about Champions Cup. There's a few that will go a little bit in depth, and there's some that just need to be just In and out. That's it.
I want to talk about Sale.
Lies. So let's talk about the Friday matches. They were both actually very good. Northampton just cannot find a win. Oh,
Well,
it's so infuriating for Chris Boyd, I'm sure, just to watch, especially the way Bordeaux were able to take it. I was like,
yeah. Well, with Cordero snagging that ball off the doink,
that's a sin. That's a cardinal sin.
Horrible.
That's a cardinal sin. That's bad.
Horrible. And then some selfish runs. Aidendorf and Furbank, I'm looking in your directions. With you break the line, you get through, and then you just you get in a point where you look. Maybe it's because I have a prop upbringing, but there comes a point in time for any rugby player, unless you're a wing, when you're if you're some of the backs you're expected to finish, but when you have players in front of you on a line break, you need to give the ball. Like, that's bottom line. That should be okay. I'm going to give the ball because there's a player in front of me. That means that there's only whatever happens, maybe I'm throwing a dummy and carrying it through, but I'm at least having that ball out and ready to present and trying to throw it. Both of them, Aidendorf had a great run and then just took it in when all he had to do was give it to one of the three people who was around him, and that was a try.
Gotta have your eyes open there.
Furbank, something similar, but I think it was a little bit more questionable. I can't remember it now. It's been too many rugby things since then.
One too many.
But yeah, just give the ball and let the other guy score, and you win the game.
Yeah, and
that was it. It was a 4-point game.
For all Northampton's possession, this should have been their game. Lots of time in the 22, just could not finish the damn job.
Yeah,
and that's been the story of their season so far.
Yeah, but that's also the problem. They didn't really try. I don't think they tried enough to finish the job. As soon as they got a penalty for the Saints, well, actually for both teams, they just kicked for points. I mean, it was the team that scored a try that won. So what does that tell you, right?
It's true. Yep.
They scored one try, and that was it. That's all that was necessary.
Screams it,
So
it does. I agree.
That's where we are. Well, I feel like I am, and I feel like you're on board. But we sometimes you're more conservative about it. But I'm not a big fan of going for points that many times. I understand it once or twice, but once you've got that in your back pocket, you got to fucking score a try.
Especially in this competition.
Yeah.
You need tries to make
this is not a penalty kicking competition. It's a try scoring competition, as we'll see the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, no kidding. So Saints kind of have to eat their medicine, and Bordeaux are snag a win.
Yeah, and the only thing that kept Saints really in it was Bordeaux's discipline, getting
Awful.
2 cards.
Awful.
Who was the 9?
Luku or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep, Luku.
Look, fuck that, and he knew as soon as he did it that he was getting carded. As soon as they went to TMO anyway. You
are off.
Right.
Good luck.
It's like, dude, you gotta know.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's it. Right, 12, Bordeaux 16. Bordeaux, and Northampton's not dead in the water, but
no,
they've got an uphill battle to climb.
You gotta start scoring points now.
The other Friday game, again, absolutely, and I will say this: all the Irish provinces put their hand up this weekend.
They certainly did.
Regardless of the result. Regardless of the result, Ulster, Toulouse ain't no cupcake.
No,
and they acquitted themselves quite well.
No,
but just how fucking good is Cheslin Colby? Oh, that guy! I was like, that he had that step. I'm like, that should be illegal.
Yeah,
that's a crime right there that he just did. It just makes people look silly. Oh man, he's amazing. He's amazing. Just absolutely amazing.
It wasn't just him, but
no, the whole team was very good, obviously. But
did he change that game?
Yeah,
I mean, because Ulster were. I mean, they were showing real attacking intent and showing. Like it's funny. It's the French flair and individual efforts and artistry versus the regimented Irish attack. But the regimented Irish attack was still in space. It was still open. You can be open and still have structure. And Ulster proved that. And I hats off to them for the job they did there. Mm-hmm. It's just the fact that it's really the difference is this is like water that Toulouse play in. It's like and Ulster are still just sorting it out. Mm-hmm. And they still and honestly Toulouse have better players. If we're being perfectly honest.
I mean 1 to 10, 1 to 15. Excuse me. Yes, absolutely. There's no argument against that. Madigan served himself well in this one. With Billy Burns still banged up, so it's there was a lot to like about Ulster's performance, but yeah, there's too much in that Toulouse team,
right?
And then we talk about Colby, but best 9 in the world,
yes,
Anton Dupont. I don't think there's too many questions at this point.
It's just maybe he does still make some mistakes, but shit, Aaron Smith will still kick directly to touch a couple times a game, and every so often he has a shitter. And he's also kind of, there's creaks in that armor too, as he gets older. And Dupont might be young, but damn, who would you want more? I mean, or any of the nines, other nines. If you have him as a potential starter,
the hottest 9 on the planet without a doubt. I'm not starting anybody but him.
I mean, there's others that are showing promise, but I mean, even the guy across from him, who I know is not no spring chicken, but he's been on fire too.
He's an excellent scrum half. It's unfortunately he's gotten thrown down the pecking order in Ireland, but he's still very obviously valuable to his club. So.
But not many can do what Dupont did there.
No.
And I thought that was a knock at first because I wasn't paying attention too closely, and I it's a scrum, so I kind of when they go to feed it at that point, I'm like, all right, I kind of see where this is going, and start looking elsewhere. And so all I saw was the ball just bouncing around, and it looked like it went off of, to me. Coming back to it, looked like it went off Dupont's hand forward, but no, it just went off his foot, and he just missed it with his hand.
Yep.
And then it was like, oh fuck,
good.
That was ridiculous.
Quite good. Good. And shout out to David New getting in the U.S. international prop. Still a very young man too. That's the thing. U.S. have a nice front row looking at that between him and the guy that played for Lyon on Saturday as well. Yeah, big guy. Okay. Speaking of Saturday, let's go to the first one. This was, when you talk about action-packed, this was action-packed. My goodness. Bristol Bears and Claremont, just, you couldn't turn your head away for a second.
No. Good shit was just happening.
Yes.
And, there was, Brace was not perfect.
No.
There's definitely reasons why that again, he wasn't really terribly welcomed in France.
Yeah, it's just too bad he got so much fucking abuse online.
Right, that's not right. But at the same time, it's one of those Chris Rock things. I wouldn't do it, but I understand. No, fuck that guy. Get him out of here.
Yeah, shit.
Put it this way: the Champions Cup should know better than to put him there.
That was just
Just don't do, especially for a French team versus an English team.
Yeah, probably not the best there.
But yeah, he kind of fucked around. But at the same time, Bristol, they were down 21 points before they really took off their training outfits.
They kind of had their head up their ass, as it were.
Yeah.
It's too bad that they started that way because they finished better,
right,
by far. But the back line, especially of Claremont, was just absolutely deadly.
Right. Matsushima was just...
Yeah, he was everywhere, Moala Nakaluvu while he was out there. Lopez was playing amazing.
Yep.
Not a whole lot to be done.
No.
Honestly.
I mean, there's not many club teams that can withstand that kind of onslaught with that Claremont brought.
Yeah, and then you have the likes of Fritz Lee in the back row for Claremont.
I mean, Vahamahina,
he wasn't elbowing anybody, so that's a good start.
No, that was a good sign. But he also wasn't I think he had one nice run with an offload, but it's not even like they activated everybody.
No,
and everybody got that.
Got dropped late. That didn't help. That didn't help that, but trust me, he's still good. Oh, by the way, forever and ever and ever, thank you, Jamie Heaslip. I love you so much.
Yes,
Brian Burns' nickname is Bubbles. He's gonna hate. Burns gonna hate Jamie Heaslip for that. I want the story now. That's what I want. I want the story.
Hey, but the dodge was perfect. I don't know, but he gave the breadcrumbs. He's like, you need to talk. Who do you need to talk to?
Sean O'Brien.
Yes, right. He's like, talk to Sean O'Brien, but he might not be able to answer because what goes on tour stays on tour. And it's like, all right, fine.
That was hilarious. Yes. So sorry, burning your bubbles now.
Yeah.
End of story. And and not to say that Bristol didn't do anything. They did some great things, including guy playing fullback,
Maxie.
Yeah.
Just
picking good lines and making excellent decisions, and the kid's a stud. We shit on how little Eddie Jones experimented this fall, but he at least fucking threw that in there because that was worth it.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like one of those, you say you kind of have to, but he doesn't because he doesn't feel like he has to.
But he definitely doesn't feel like he has to.
And if we're going to talk about Maxie, we got to talk about the other guy back there, Owen Lloyd. Coming on right away and scoring a try.
Yeah,
no problem. No big deal.
I got this. I got this, guys. I've done this before.
Did you not read the sign that says all I do is score tries?
Apparently.
Why did you not put me on earlier?
It's ridiculous. Yeah, and the kid. Yeah, the whole crew's amazing. Obviously,
I am growing in my affection for Henry Purdy, and he had some good plays, but he also made some questionable decisions. And Owen Lloyd doesn't do that. So
yeah, we'll see what the lineup looks like for Bristol this weekend when they go to. I believe they're going to Ireland. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, just really good stuff all around. Bristol acquitted themselves quite well, but it's just a really tough team to come against first shot in the Champions Cup for a long time. So better days ahead for them.
Yeah, that's a learning experience. That was. But what Bristol showed is that they belong, and that's the important thing, because they have all sorts of opportunities to get themselves back in it, and then, as you said, this is their first shot in there, so they're building towards something good.
They'll get there,
as always.
They'll get there. Consider the bodies they're missing and all that, and they're still reintegrating some of their internationals. So give them credit for that for sure. Something about just really heartbreaking results and the first round of the Champions Cup and the wreck. Like, Bath and Scarlets. Like, and this is, Bath are having a similar problem to Northampton. They're finding funny ways to either come really close or lose. And it's not great. And I know Ruiz was the referee, and trust me, I'll shit on him whenever I feel like it, but I'm not going to, it would take me too long.
Well, let's also bear in mind that they didn't have their 10.
No, there was no Reese Priestland. Matavesi played pretty well.
But he's not.
He's not Reese.
It's not the same.
No, Reese knows how to control that game very
Reese,
well.
Matavesi, Redpath, I like that a lot better than Matavesi, Redpath, and I don't remember who the outside JJ. Oh, yeah.
I mean, JJ will be in the team either way.
Yeah.
Either way you cut it.
True. So I guess that would probably end up being Reese, Redpath, JJ if you're attacking.
Yep, and score. And
if you need to score.
Yep, scoring. So it was, and we saw. Let's talk about the guys that did well for Bath, and we'll go to the Scarlets, because the Scarlets deserve all the credit in the world because they haven't played a whole lot of rugby because of the issues going on with COVID in Wales. So, how can they keep Zach Mercer out of this lineup from now on?
They can't.
I really don't see how you do it.
That changed their whole everything about them changed when he came on, and it really showed that because they had a lot of bruisers. It was. I thought it was a tactical mistake to keep him off in the first place.
He was red hot.
Looking at their, he's hot, but like you look at that Bath lineup.
It was Falatau, Underhill, and Williams.
But like Williams isn't gonna win any races. No. I mean Underhill will, but really, so like you have one fetcher in your pack at that point with Underhill. Everyone else is kind of a plotter. And this is not a plotting competition. This is a running competition. So I would have just liked to have seen, if you're going to do something like this, Falatau, Underhill, and Mercer. Put Falatau at 6, or put Mercer at 6. Doesn't really fucking matter in the end.
Put him back there at least.
But put him out there and let the runners run. And that it's so valuable. And Mercer found so much space that Falatau just wouldn't have found.
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure Toby Falatau has that same ability. So it was just
in this competition, you can get away with this in the Prem, but the shit ain't the Prem. The Scarlets aren't that good.
No.
But it's the competition that they rose to, and Beth did not.
No, they did not. And it was the 2 9s.
Yeah.
Doing the bulk of the damage for the Scarlets with Hardy and Davies.
Yep.
And I mean, this is what Davies does. He knows where the scrum half lines are. He knows how to intercept. He, as much as nines don't always score tries, he does it because he does those good. And as much as we glowingly speak of somebody like Cobus Reinach or Danny Kerr, this is what he does.
Yeah,
this is his game. So, and he's obviously teaching the young kid Hardy exactly how to do it. So Scarlets have a little something cooking with that position at the very least.
That they do.
Good on them. And then Lee Halfpenny turning back the clock and knocking some pens over for his team's sake. And you know this is what he brings is an experience because he's won this competition a couple times.
Right.
You know, while playing in France with Toulon. So there's a lot to say about that. And you know, as well as Bath probably, as much as Bath probably deserved it for the majority of controlling the majority of it, and we saw this with Northampton, same thing. You know, you got to finish.
Yep.
You got to get it over the line, and you know, some guys got the job done for them. Mercer, Rory McConaughey was back on fire as he has been.
Yep.
Yeah, and those are the like.
Right. Underhill had a great match too.
Yes.
On both sides of the ball.
England international, I hope so.
Right. I thought he did a lot more carrying than he normally does.
And I think I hope Stuart Hooper put that on him and said you need to take charge a little bit more because you're an England international now.
Right.
You need to be a leader on this team.
Yeah, and that's not his. He doesn't do that so much for England as far as a carrier, and he only had 16 meters, but still, you know, a clean break and a try assist is a lot more and 2 offloads. That's a lot
better
of
than what he
attacking
does.
work for Sam Underhill. You know, the 16 tackles, yeah, that's fairly, you know, that's to be expected, but the defender's beaten and offloads is not normally his game, so
Correct.
It's good to see him grow.
Yeah.
In that respect.
And then, you know, and you know, it was just it came down to that goal line stand, obviously, with the Scarlets just nutting up and doing as they do, and this is what you need to. Those are the championship moments. Those are these champion cup moments that you need to step up and say, all right, we're here to really take this seriously. And just, you know, a couple held ups, and you know, obviously Ben Spencer came up short, and you know, his idea
was so close.
His idea was excellent.
I thought they had advantage.
I did too.
I could have sworn the referee said advantage right before then. So I was like, okay, it's not a big deal. And then he's like, nope, that's the game. And I'm like, no, you called it.
Ruiz.
Man, you had a there was something there, right? No.
And I will say, and this is what a lot of teams that didn't quite get it done this weekend are very guilty of. They have advantage and they try and plug away with the forwards. You have advantage.
Score.
Try something.
You gotta score.
Try something.
Yeah.
This is what you do when you don't have advantage. When you have advantage and you can spin the ball wide, almost consequence free.
Yeah.
Fucking try something. You have some very talented backs out there. Get it moving, and you can put Mercer in space.
Yeah,
you can put the guy in space.
Or Underhill. Can you imagine Underhill with his speed and size? I mean, because it's different. He's not larger than Mercer.
Yeah,
so
he's quite a thick body.
You put him in space with that speed. Yeah, he's getting through. McConaughey's getting through.
All you needed was five meters.
Right.
You can knock that over easily. God, Matavesi probably could have crashed that over.
Exactly.
You know, so yeah, just teams need to be. I want to see teams be a little bit more willing to spin the ball away from there. You know, and
hard agree.
Everybody, you know, everybody wants to be Exeter. That's it.
Yeah.
That is it. End of story.
Right.
Okay. They're the ones that do that, and they specialize for that reason. That's how they are.
And it's that part is so very technical. Has nothing. But
and you have to work on it. You have to work on it.
Otherwise, you're just going to be stupid. And that's one of the reasons why they can't spin it, because they don't work on that stuff. They just work as much as they work on here's how we get these hard yards and you know, pick and go our way over.
100%.
Bath aren't them, so yeah, as you said, and everyone else just
you're not them. Just
right.
Keep moving along, please. Okay, and then let's fast forward to Sunday. I said all the Irish provinces put their hand up and acquitted themselves quite well. Connacht especially. Here's the thing. There's a lot of places you can go in Europe, and you just don't come away with points. Allianz was one of them. Whatever it's renamed to now, I don't remember. Tobin Park is another. And then Racing in general, but especially since they moved into La Défense. It is really difficult to come away with points. Yeah, exactly. It's really difficult. And then, you know, since Toulouse kind of has come back and and come good. Theirs is also a very tough place to expect to get points from. Name of the team escapes me, and my apologies. So anyway, these are not places that you go. Ernest Wallon. I'm sorry. There we go. Got it. So for Connacht to come to the La Défense against, a team like myself and many others have picked to be in the final is just, and with the depleted squad they have got so many injuries and guys that are banged up from Ireland tour, and just to put their hands up and say, here we are not the pushovers of this competition.
Right.
And they really did a good job of it. And, we talked about some of the absurd tries that were scored in this game, especially Tauffanua. Oh my goodness. That is sheer ability. That is class. That you cannot do that unless you're special. End of story. And just to get it down and, legs were in the air and
twisting around.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That is just so much ability right there. Balled into one try.
In play. All that's, yeah.
Yeah. So he's quite good.
Agreed.
So it was, and and you look at the guys that are playing in the Racing 15 across, and then you look at the guys playing in the Connacht team, and you're like, this should be a wash, right?
You'd think it was almost like Lyon Gloucester that we've gone, except a little bit better opponent than Lyon.
Right, and it was like, and yeah, I mean, you look 1 through 15, and even down to the bench with the likes of Donica Ryan and Machinot and Zebo, and you're like, how?
Yeah,
like if you're Connacht, you need to go back with a hard on from this game. This is a great game from these guys. Bundyaki did not start this match.
No, he did not.
And, you had Kalen Blade. Marmion's not a bad 9 by any means, whatever, but I think Blade might be the slightly better of the two of them. And, yeah, you had guys. Butler came off and was done, and that's one of their better ball carriers and better defenders. And they did a great job. Dennis Buckley played his ass off. Jack Hardy certainly is putting his hand back up because he got kind of thrown by the wayside for Ireland as well.
Alex Wooten with the big intercept try. And the race.
And that's a gamble. And he outraced Teddy. Teddy Thomas very fast.
You could say that.
And he still outran him. But
you could see him, like, you saw Wooten ease up, like, probably around the 40-meter line, and not realize until about the 22 that, oh, wait, I gotta go.
Yeah, gotta go. Gotta go, kids. Gotta go. Dad's gotta go, kids.
Like, wait, I'm tired. Fuck, I got 20 more meters to go.
No, you're not. Go. Keep going, dude. If I was the Connacht coaching staff, I would be very happy with that team performance. That was just unreal France have had their restrictions raised, unfortunately, so they don't have any fans right now either.
Yeah.
So it was probably a little bit to do with that, but just the defense that they put in against some big boys, and Camille Schott left this match as well, kind of really early. 18 minutes in. Less than ideal, obviously, but it just, again, for a losing team, I'd be so damn proud if I was Connacht. That was a lot to have to withstand.
The only thing that they have to feel shame about is that they let the ugliest man in rugby score a try against them.
Yeah, Curly Peel. Yeah, it was a good try, though.
It was a great try. Beautiful try.
Yeah, and Wakatawa was up to his old tricks again, so
he's okay.
Shocker of the day, I know.
He's all right.
Yeah. So it was very good stuff from the guys from Galway. So we'll see. Bristol are gonna have a fight this weekend. That's for sure.
They are.
This will be a good match. This will be a match that not as many people watch. I think more people will watch it just a little bit because of Bristol. This is a match to watch. If you have a choice between one or two, I don't know if they're on the same time as somebody else, unless it's
no, it's the last match of the weekend.
Oh, don't go away. Tune right in, kids. Tune right in.
It's dessert.
I promise it'll be worth it. All right.
We don't have many. We have some overlapping matches, but not nearly as many as last week.
Yeah. Well, you'll probably still see some similar windows, just the same. Let's go through the other ones we didn't get too deep on. Toulon Sale, kind of lopsided, kind of ugly.
I mean,
Parise with the sky hook.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Did you see that? Did you go back?
I went back and watched the highlights. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done, signore.
And first off, when it's Marlon Yard and James Phillips are scoring, it's garbage time. And I think, when did they score? When was that garbage time again?
Phillips was like 70 odd, wasn't it?
Hold on, let me see what. Yeah, I can't remember either, but it wasn't really garbage time yet, but it was garbage time.
I mean,
at that point, there was like 30 minutes to go, I think, at that point, and I guess Yard 65 and 69 minutes. So yeah, garbage time.
Yeah, and then Louis Carbonell doing as he did the week before.
He's all right.
Playing quite well.
It's all right.
So good for. So Toulon might be around for this competition. We'll see.
I think I actually called that, if I'm not mistaken, but whatever.
Yeah,
I had them advancing.
Yeah, we'll see. And Montpellier, Leinster just controlled the match the whole time. It looked like nothing new there. No Sexton starting, no problem.
No problem at all.
Yeah, no Larmour, no Ringrose. Didn't really matter. This is an excellent Leinster team. They look geared up, ready to go for a run.
Yeah, they're fine, and they weren't really playing an opponent that was really challenging them too much. So
yeah. Hey, shout out to AJ and TT for getting in there, and obviously AJ did what he could, but shit, there's only so much you can do against Toulon these days.
Yeah.
If Dragons were a better team, Wasps would have been in trouble.
Definitely.
Dragons were very depleted.
Yeah.
They had a couple of COVID cases that popped up late. Ashton Hewitt was one of them, who's definitely one of their best outside backs.
Yeah,
one of their best backs, period.
Right, because they had to start. What's his fuck?
Somebody out wide there. Jonah Holmes.
Jonah Holmes, the guy who couldn't even start for Leicester. Yeah.
So it was, and the Wasps.
Jack Willis
did
scored,
their job.
If you can
did
imagine.
their job. That's it. Yeah, Jack Willis did amazing things.
Although Wasps did well without their 10, right? I mean,
yeah, Charlie Atkinson. Did quite well.
Acquitted himself extremely well.
Did quite well. Yeah, he's there's something there.
Yeah,
there's something there for him.
And so it's like
Thank God he didn't get knocked out again.
Yeah, it just took him a little.
Poor kid.
Well, he wasn't playing Faz. So.
No, he wasn't playing Farrell. Lucky for him.
Yeah, and Alfie Barbary running in, it just looks. We talked about Zach Mercer. He's like the chunky Zach Mercer.
He is chunky little boy. He's still got his baby fat.
And Dan Robson, as always, just
yeah. He needs to be.
Wasps
if it's not Spencer, it needs to be him at 9 for England. I don't understand Youngs anymore. I really don't.
No, and Wasps are they need to be better, but at the same time, having Umaga at 10, I think would have been
a different story.
Would have been a different story. So
yes.
Both teams kind of struggling going in, and the better team won. So.
Mm-hmm. And that's and that's how it was going to be. Edinburgh, La Rochelle, Will Skelton, and that's it.
Yeah,
really, like that's it. That was an awful match. Neither team could figure out how to get themselves down the field.
Yeah,
really, and neither could hit a kick. Like, the Kinghorn try was very good. But
this was the match that we didn't have.
That was score. It. Yeah, so as you can imagine, we were bored as shit. So of course I'm going to find something to gripe about. So there you go.
I think the only other match at the time was
this was the last one of the day.
One, yeah.
So that was it.
There's nothing to do.
No, there was a whole lot of nothing to do that day. Oh well. Yeah, sorry, I ran out of ideas, guys. Right. Leon, Gloucester, there were so. Let's start by saying Gloucester had some good players, and they did well. This was a crime that George Skivington committed here with these kids. Unfortunately,
it really was. It was unfair to them, but
yeah. So Leon did as they were supposed to. Super not unexpectedly by any means whatsoever. Good on the young Gloucester kids. A lot of them really put their hand up to say
Nagel Taylor.
Yeah, that kid.
And they were mentioning it even on the broadcast that he was they're scared about his size. And god damn it, can we stop being fucking size queens here? It's not
Kings
or Kings, same thing. It's not about the size of the guy. If he can find space, he will find space.
Absolutely.
If
you're a tough bugger, you're a tough bugger. That's the end of the story.
And Sebastian Nagel Taylor, stand up, take a bow, and throw both middle fingers in the air towards all the haters because no, you belong. You're in. And there's others that acquitted themselves well. Moyle is really showing something.
Yeah, I like that.
Trinder, we've always loved Alex Morgan on the pod.
Sorry, dude, you got the wrong name.
Different Alex Morgan, same number.
Yeah.
Not quite as attractive. Sorry, Alex. But
we like you and all, but
yeah,
no.
we like you, but you're not the Alex Morgan that plays for the ladies, the U.S. women's national team.
Yeah, not quite. Good try.
But yeah, they all played. All the young kids really played well. Unfortunately, and Barton too. Let's not forget him.
Yeah, I thought we talked about the revolving door of tens at Gloucester. They might have a stopgap at the very least with him.
But and I will say this: Jamal Ford Robinson too. He might not be one of the young pups, and he might be well traveled, but dude brought it. He absolutely brought it.
Yeah,
and deserves more. If this was truly like kind of the all schlub lineup, which it wasn't exactly.
Wasn't.
But he doesn't deserve to be on the. This was almost like the probables versus a possibles team. But he should be in too. The way he's played, it's been fantastic.
I agree. And then over to Thomond Park, where again it's very difficult to come away with a whole lot. Munster very much back into their regular form. They don't have Carberry and they won't for a while. Mm-hmm. So Hanrahan doing the job, and then why is it young kids? You loved him.
Healy.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that guy.
Yeah. He was he wasn't so bad.
No.
So between him and the baby one, the young scrum half there, God damn it, why is
Casey?
that? Yes. Yeah, between the two of them, pretty good.
Yeah.
And then Tyke Barnes just doing everything a lock should.
Launching it. Oh, that was gorgeous. And
I'm sure we weren't at altitude. That was a hoof. God.
And the best part is right after that, it was who was it who returned it? It was Nathan Earl or was it Mike Brown? It was Mike Brown.
It was Brownie.
It was Brownie. Just shanked it into like that was basically from the Munster 5 meter line, and they get the line out just outside the 22 of the Queens.
Yeah, that's embarrassing to get out kicked by that. Oh man. So
and just some ugly play from Quins with 3 cards. 4?
Yeah, their whole back row got cards.
Card.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck all that.
Yeah, there was
bad.
This was a wee bit of a card happy affair.
And some hard luck with those, but I still think that the Dom Brandt card was a little much, but that was the match that was being called. So
yeah, I think just the way it started off was how it was going to go.
Yeah,
and that's it. So yeah, Quins need to definitely step it up if they're gonna keep alive in this one because they got some real tough competition coming to town.
Also, but Caden Murley looking.
Yeah,
he's on the come, as they say.
Yeah, so not so old and seems to have a little something into him. So just get Northmore out of there. I don't know what the hell he keeps popping in there for. It's just right. He's not that good.
And Tapawai actually I thought played all right, but there was a time where they threw him on a line that really should be left for Paul Lasike.
The big bowling ball. Yeah.
And I think that's as much as it's funny because I'm going to backtrack on myself a little bit, but I think it was just the Quins lineup was very light. It was not.
Yeah,
not
there's
very
something
fit.
to be said. You don't have to have size in order to be tough and in order to be a great rugby player.
Right.
But there are points where the whole thing adds up, and it's like, okay, we can just push you over.
You have to have someone who's in the backs who's capable of running a straight north-south line and beating defenders that way. Okay. And Tapawai ran the line very well. He's just not big enough to do it.
No, sorry, big guy.
Yeah.
Not your thing.
He's not finding space.
No, not anytime today, buddy. Sorry. So, all right, so there's that. Man, that was fun. So I'll just name the top 4 in each. Leinster, Wasp, Toulon, La Rochelle sit atop Pool A, and then B we had.
Wait, say that again.
Leinster, Wasp, Toulon, La Rochelle.
Oh, okay. There's the 4 I picked. All right.
There's four of the ones you had there. Yeah. Lyon, Exeter, Clermont, and Toulouse currently in the top 4 of Pool B.
I had some of them.
So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, Leon's point differential kind of helped.
Yeah.
And then obviously Exeter. Oh shit, we need to talk about that. But yeah, I mean, that was
Class.
I mean, their class and Glasgow were so banged up, and they kept getting broken. They had a last minute lineup change. They were just,
Yeah, it was not. No,
it wasn't good.
Glasgow, like, yeah, it's exactly like we said. That was the grinded out strategy that can still beat Glasgow. But even when, I mean, shit, the backs found space. When Ollie Woodburn and Tom O'Flaherty are finding space,
There's a lot of space.
Yeah,
Hoggy got over, like,
yeah. When it's true. When all three of the outside backs for Exeter are finding lots of room to operate,
There's room
and
to
are
operate, clearly.
and are running with the ball in hand, that tells you that Exeter are finding space and
and just
not afraid to use
Glasgow are unfortunately very overmatched in this competition right now. Just no Hastings and just depleted, and it's not a knock on them. It's just and on top of the fact that they're playing the defending champions, it just didn't help them at all.
No,
but
Exeter are out to send a message.
Yep, they are.
Still,
they definitely are putting that flag in.
And we will see this coming week.
Yeah, we'll see
just how strong that message
should be
is.
interesting. To the Champi-Yanks League Champions Cup round 1. Ben gets his $1 back.
Fuck yeah.
Big numbers. A
lot of big numbers.
All across the board. Will Skelton had 15.
Yeah.
And was definitely one of the better scorers of La Rochelle as a lock.
Right.
Not bad, Big Willie, as we'd expect from you from time to time. Let's just run through the results here. Carrick was able to take care of Mark. Mark had a tough week. We talked about Ben and I. Anton, George got to get off the schneid at some point here.
Although,
Justin picked up a loss. He's not picked up too many wins recently. So, and then obviously Duncan had the top scorer of the week in the league with 160. And
damn it, so close.
Sorry, yeah, you were pretty good, and Anton was right there at 156. So pretty good stuff. Let's talk a wee bit about our start on the sit. And we won't spend too much time on it, but Scarlets and Toulon. Anybody that you want to play in that? Scarlets might. Here's the thing: you guys start thinking about the teams that are going to advance even after only one round. Toulon, Louis Carbonell is probably worth a go. Parise might be worth a go. Moyano played well. Their front row was pretty good. Toyava might be another one in there, and then maybe Saran. That really does it for you. And then Scarlets, Davies, and Halfpenny.
That's it. Yeah, that's what I said. Halfpenny and Gaff Davies are the only ones.
That's it.
Scarlets that should be worth starting.
So really not much there. And if you don't have, especially the Scarlets, if you don't already have them, don't go chasing too many of them. Was Montpellier, a lot of Was. I'm looking to start. Willis, Robson, Umaga should be back. Gopperth will be better. I'm trying to think of the other name that I had in my head. Their front row.
Well, always their front row.
That one, and then Bassett scored quite well this past weekend.
Because here's the thing: Bassett and Kibariki switch off, so you have to
figure out which one to switch.
And sometimes they both go off, so you got it. But it's I don't know that. I don't think that. How did Kibariki do this weekend?
Not fantastic.
No, he got 6.7. That's not going to kill you, but it's also not what you expect.
No, it's not what you're hoping for.
Not what you want.
No, especially in this competition where you're going to need 100.5 easy,
right?
Probably.
So you really want a 10-point minimum, if you can, especially for an outside backs. It's probably up to 15.
You're probably looking somewhere between the 13-15 range.
So Bassett or Kibarigi will do well, but or maybe both. But fuck if I know which.
Yeah, no kidding.
If anybody knows which.
Unfortunately for Glasgow, unless Hugh Jones starts, I'm not playing anybody.
No, I'm not playing anybody for Glasgow.
And that's only if I have them. And then Leon, there's a lot to like. Natai, obviously Wisniewski was good. Bust as a midfielder playing 8, which could be worse.
Right.
He's getting the ball a lot, so that's how that goes.
Chris Can will find space.
This could be another training run.
Yeah. Oh, it totally will. Leon have scored the ultimate training run here because it's a better defense.
Rada's going to do well as a lock.
Glasgow's a better defense, but Fagerson from Glasgow. That's who I.
That's another one.
Because he'll assert himself the way Glasgow's the way Gloucester's scorers did. That when they ran and they looked for holes, Fagerson does that, but he's the only one on their team that does.
And don't go fetching him if you've already got a good lineup.
Right.
So if you have him, play him. But other than that,
yeah. But Lyon front row. If you don't have Lyon's front row at this point,
that's a good one.
I would be looking at Lyon players now because Glasgow are with their tail between their legs. Gloucester are their tail between their legs. Lyon will be playing in the next round.
If you got a feeling they're gonna be. You really get a feeling that they're going to be.
So I would I would be looking heavy at Lyon for players.
Right. Northampton and Leinster will have a lot more to pick through. Bigger was obviously one of the best. Adendorf played well, but I don't know if that's going to happen again. Hutch, Ribbons has played very well in there. What's his face? Laws is still listed as a lock in this competition, in FRD. So. Might be worth it. Might not be. I don't know.
He's not a runner though.
No, he's not. He hasn't been for a while.
Right. So it's not really going to be like his value will be in the stolen lineout and the turnover, and that is in this competition
not great.
Questionable.
Yeah, not great. On the other side of the ball, I mean the names you're going to play them. Leinster front row.
Play them all.
Yeah, play a lot of them.
Northampton, no matter what,
they are leaky. Points. They are leaky for the most part.
Incredibly leaky.
So.
And especially at positions that Leinster find tasty.
I assume we'll see Larmer back in Ireland since they're going to be back in Ireland. Ringrose, unless he's hurt, I don't think he's hurt. Ringrose, assuming he's not banged up too much. Henshaw, like the guys that you're thinking of, even the guys that scored well this past weekend, if they're playing,
play them.
Play them. If you have a spot, play them.
Van der Fleer is a big go get him.
Yep, go get him.
Kalen Doris, big.
Yeah,
go get him.
He's done well.
Not. I mean, both of those guys are taken in your league. If you don't have them, somebody else does. But if they're not, somehow...
snap them up quick. La Rochelle, Bath. Mercer, if Priest is back, probably him.
Yeah.
And Scory.
Yep,
probably
that's it.
On Bath.
Underhill.
Yeah.
Underhill, Mercer, and Scory.
Yeah.
And everyone else. Yeah, that's it. Everyone else. Let's wait to see if Priest is back.
Yeah. La Rochelle. Skelton played well. Botia might do better. I don't know. Yeah, the 9s are a little fishy, and the 9s and the 10s for that team are a little fishy right now.
They are. So I'm thinking it's going to be West will be the starter.
Yeah, West. Okay.
And then also, but the flankers, 9s, 10s, and outside backs are where you want to, or where Bath is leaky. So Aldreet.
Yeah, Gregory Aldreet will do quite well.
Will do very well. And then. Rule leads and Sinzel.
Raymond Rule got the only try of the game.
Yeah, he scored.
Yeah,
he may get another one against Beth.
He might. So we at least back it on La Rochelle's home turf there.
Carmel, Munster.
Gloucester.
Wait. Oh, I was looking at the wrong one.
Gloucester and Ulster.
Okay. Went the wrong way.
Jeez. I mean, a lot of Ulster guys. Jacob Stockdale played quite well this past weekend, and it showed on the scoreboard as well.
Yes.
Cooney, Madigan's worth a start if you need a fly half in this match likely. There's a few guys. Kutsia if he comes back from his little knock there.
Yeah. Although they might sit him because they don't need.
They may dial it back. I don't know. They need to score some points though. They might know that.
True.
So you might see full war here. Claremont and Munster playing to pick from here. Should be an interesting game. It'll be back on Claremont's home turf at Marcel Michelin. So
basically all of Claremont to go.
A lot of Claremont.
Their entire back line.
Yato should be healthy again. Hopefully. So Van Maheen just slides back into the second row, so that we don't have a lock on the flank. Thank you. Fritz Lee is just as good as he always has been. That center pairing is deadly. That's just not fun to go against. And then Matsushima, he's gonna stay hot. I don't care about Munster's defense, quote unquote.
No,
he's gonna stay hot. So keep rolling him out there. Munster will have players to play as well. Connor Murray's not the 9 that you want in this competition. No, unfortunately. Really. Hanrahan's probably worth the start.
Not in FRD.
Not in FRD.
Because Murray does well in leagues where there's scoring for kicking and other
passing
things
and stuff like that. Yep, TRM usually does really well in Six Nations.
Right.
And we'll see what the outside backs start to produce. I thought Conway and Earls had potential to bust loose in that Quins match, but just didn't quite get
happen.
there.
Yeah.
Tyke Byrne, you better play him. If you have him, you're playing him. You're playing him. I don't care what team they're going against. If he's gonna keep scoring points like that, do it. So we'll see how that goes. Bordeaux and Dragons, play a lot of the Bordeaux guys. Yeah. Really, there's a lot to pick through there. Jalibert should be healthy and starting this time. Yeah. So Dragons
still underpowered and not quite.
God, Roberts did pretty well. So if you have him, you might be okay playing him. But
I'd start to look away from them because they're not moving on.
No, they won't. But if you're desperate for a midfielder, he's done.
Yeah,
he's
that's
done
true.
all right.
If you have guys who maybe aren't playing this week, and you need a fill-in, he's a good fill-in.
Yeah, fill-in's good there. Sale Edinburgh, good God.
Just fucking avoid this match for every reason possible. Don't watch it.
What do I do with this match for fantasy?
Don't start anybody. I mean, look, there's two people worth starting in this match: Jean-Luc Dupria and AJ.
Maybe Kinghorn on the Edinburgh side.
Kinghorn on the Edinburgh side. But the Sale are so good at defense. He's not going to get points.
That's the hard part.
So it's like that. There's the problem. These are two very defensive teams. Mm-hmm. They're going to look at so. Here's the thing: if someone drops the ball, if it just sits there, both teams are going to look at it and say, "You pick it up. I want to play defense." No. You pick it up. I want to play defense. No. You.
Do it. No, you do it. No, you do it.
Yeah. It's gonna, and then the referee will just be like, "What the fuck, guys?"
Yeah, let's go with this.
That there is my impression of the Sale versus Edinburgh match for this.
Yeah,
week,
and then
which has not happened yet.
Yeah, and then Sunday, Quins Racing should be interesting.
I hope Quins play better. It depends on if Quins
need to play a lot better.
They
did not play well.
Not well at all.
Yeah, Marler was a bit of a helmet, as he tends to be sometimes.
Yeah.
Not helping his team at all.
No, but they weren't helping themselves. Like you said, I mean, he wasn't one of the. He didn't get carded. He wasn't one of the guys that got carded.
He didn't get carded.
Right.
It's like, how did Marler not get a card with all these cards getting handed out?
I don't think Luis played, did he?
No, Stefan Levis did not play. No, it was Tizard and
they need some leadership. Really, that's what it is. I mean,
yeah, you might be right about that.
They're outside of their front row. Their backs are the back. The locks
Don
and
Brandt,
the back three are not, or back.
Don Brandt, Kerr, Marcus Smith.
Kerr, yeah.
And maybe not Kerr.
But Don Brandt's like 22, 23. Kerr is the guy who really and the back three really Brown and Earl.
You want your 9 and 10 to be able to steer the ship though.
Right.
So.
And Smith is still he needs some help with that.
I think Lang playing 12 would be better for his sake because Lang's a little more experienced. I'm not saying Lang's amazing, but he's a little more experienced, and 12 can kind of help steer the ship with 10.
Right.
You see it with Gopperth and Umaga, so
exactly they need a Gopperth.
It's not a bad idea to do that.
Right. That's kind of what I'm seeing is they don't have a Gopperth there to steady the hand of the 10 who might need it at times.
Yeah, and because we know the absolute amazing ability that Marcus Smith possesses. He just needs a little help.
He's ridiculously better than Jacob Umaga, but Umaga kind of has the help that
he's got that steady hand that's kind of guiding him through it. So we'll see what happens with that. Here we go. Toulouse and Exeter. Oh,
you remember what I said about Sale versus Edinburgh? Picture the exact opposite of that.
This is the opposite.
If there's only one match that you can watch, if you're in the doghouse or something like that, and you really can only get away for 80 minutes worth of rugby, this is the match.
This is it. This is a rematch of the semifinal last year. Mm-hmm. Oh man, this should be interesting, to say the least. So you're picking through some players here. If Cordero's back, you're gonna play him. Definitely, it'll be interesting to see how this.
Yeah,
it'll be very interesting to see how this back three, who's extremely talented, plays against the Toulouse back three. Again, extremely talented. Mm-hmm. Boatloads of talent everywhere, all over this field. I'm not a fan of Intimac right now because he's not playing 10. He's not taking the kicks.
Right.
So that has me a little bit worried with him there. Ramos is absolutely a go right now, even if he's playing 10 because he's taking the kicks. So that doesn't hurt you so much there. Joe Simmons did just fine. Obviously, I don't see him slowing down. So go ahead and roll him out there as well. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, I mean DuPont, Colby, duh.
Right.
That kind of goes without saying. We'll see if, because there was a guy I was thinking might do a little bit better, and that was Tolofua. And he didn't, so kind of disappointing on that one. Maybe Kano gets healthy for this one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he does or not. I don't know what his
deal is.
So we'll see. Yeah, be very interesting. This is an Exeter team that are very good as fantasy defense, so just keep that in mind. Toulouse did let up plenty on their end, so maybe just kind of pick and choose your Toulousians and then go with your Exeter players a little bit.
Although, yeah, I still think that the certain Toulouse players you got to have to ride or die with them, like
yeah, bench or otherwise, yeah,
right. But yeah, and those are the guys who are going to be you know who they are.
Yeah, they're names that roll off the tongue quite easily.
If they don't, then question it and maybe have a
maybe rethink it. Yeah, I think I had Tolofua in one of my teams. Oops, that did not go well. Yeah, and then the last one of the weekend. Again, there should be plenty to pick through here. Whether or not either one of these teams rides it out and gets to the next round, I don't know. But if you have some of these players, then you can feel comfortable starting quite a few of these players in this Connacht and Bristol match. We saw Porch is a midfielder. He's playing fullback. Go. That's a go. Jack Hardy should be serviceable in this match because Bristol do surrender some points.
Oh yeah, again, so it's gonna be a slugfest, like not a bad kind, like the kind where both teams are scoring points, just like the last Bristol match.
Yeah, exactly. So and then the guys that scored for Bristol last time are probably gonna do it again. So go ahead and just feel good about that. So if you had one of them, play them because it should be almost a similar result. Of 10 plus points for a good majority of that lineup, if I remember right. I think Leua didn't do well, and that was about it.
Yeah,
that was about it.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes, but it should be a fun match just the same. And on the other side, Connacht they have some back rowers that are probably spare and on the waiver wire. So should you bump into it and be like, I need a big home run right now, might actually be worth the gamble.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Okay. Lots of fun. Lots and lots of fun. Okay, let's do Pick'em. We got separation this week.
Boo.
Yay.
I guess you can see which way that went.
I was like, all right, we're going to either have separation or we're going to come back down to 2-2 between the two matches. It was separation, thankfully, for me at least. Listen, we've had separation in this league before, and it's swung back and forth a couple times. I'm not counting shit. Okay. Scarlets and Toulon. I think it's ugly, but I think the French get it done.
Yep.
So there's nothing there.
I agree.
Wasp and Montpellier. Wasp.
Not Wasps. I had Wasps at 3-0 or 4-0. So
yeah, so you're going to take them here. Leon Glasgow, Leon, do it. Get the job done.
Yeah.
They could put in, again, a very French away performance, which we didn't see too many of them this weekend because of no crowds. But
are Glasgow good enough to win?
I don't know. That's the thing. Even if Lee shit a complete egg, I still think they'll get the win.
I think Glasgow at this point are just like, we don't want to, like,
I don't want to die.
Right.
I'm not trying to break.
Like, fuck, this isn't, they know they're going to be, like, they're not going anywhere already because they got Exeter again.
Yeah.
Like, to look forward to.
Yeah, at their home.
So this they may rock up for this one, but that would be it. After that, there's really no point to it for them.
There isn't.
I think Lyon just need to get an early edge, and it's over.
Likely. Leinster and Northampton. Sorry, Northampton. Your misery continues.
It does.
Look to the Prem next weekend. La Rochelle and Bath. This is in France, so I'm going to take the French. They're very tough. Very tough to beat on their turf.
And I don't know that Priestland will be back.
Yeah, not guaranteed. We know what Gloucester are doing in this competition, unfortunately, so I'm going to take Ulster.
Me too.
Just really sad to see. Claremont and Munster. I'm going to take the team that played a little bit better, just by a little bit. And when I say that, I mean that in the most sarcastic way possible. I'm going to take Claremont.
Yeah, me too. They just look powerful.
Yeah. Bordeaux and Dragons. Bordeaux is probably going to get through this unscathed now that they got through Northampton.
Yeah,
certainly,
I agree.
Now they got through the Northampton match away.
Right.
That was their toughest task, probably.
And Dragons are
again just a depowered.
Not ready for prime time.
Yeah, not quite there. Sorry, guys. Sale Edinburgh. Nobody.
Whoever wins,
the sinkhole comes in.
right.
Takes them both. Oh, I'll take the guys at home.
I'm going to take the Edinburgh.
Okay.
That way we could at least have some separation.
There you go.
More separation or less.
Yeah.
Hopefully less.
That's not bad. Okay. The hell. Sunday, that one. Quins and Racing. Racing.
Yeah, I can't go with Quins the way they're playing, and I can go with Racing the way they're playing.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely.
Although this is where I could see a French performance coming in, but I think Racing are a little too good for that.
Yeah.
And Harlequins aren't good enough to right now, at least the way they played last week, not good enough to overcome.
Correct.
Any little mistakes they make.
Yeah. Here we go. Here's the one. Toulouse and Exeter. Do the Toulousians get the revenge?
God, I hope so.
I think so. Being on their home turf, I think is going to do them a world of good.
This is the match. If there was one match that Exeter have been preparing for mentally and physically this year, it's this match. It's right here, going on the road at Toulouse. This is the best team that they'll play in a spell.
Quite a bit, yeah.
And they have been just angry at teams.
They've been ransacking teams. It's been bad.
And it's not just like we're beating you. Yeah, okay, we win the game. It's like we're out to crush your soul.
They've done that to a few teams, I would say.
That's the attitude they need to take into this match. And yeah, I think they do it.
Okay, so Ben's taking Exeter. Connacht and Bristol. As well as Connacht played, I think Bristol just outscore them, and that's just how it goes. Because Connacht don't quite have the ability to score at the pace that Bristol do, and that being the problem.
Connacht aren't going to do to Bristol what Clermont. No, was it? Did I get that right? Yeah, it was Clermont.
Yeah.
Did to them last week. They're not going to get up 21-0 in the first 20 minutes or whatever it was, and Bristol are now like they got punched in the face. They understand what it means. Yeah, I think they can outclass Connacht.
I think they'll get it done. Pat Lam plays his old team, along with a few guys that are on the squad now. So we'll see. All right. So we could have some more separation, or we keep you back to even. We'll find out. But other than that, yeah, this was good. Make sure that you check out our friends. Email questions, fantasyrugbypodcast@gmail.com. Regular questions or stuff that you want to talk about on episode 100. But yeah, this will be another fun Champions Cup weekend, and good luck to everybody out there in FRD land. Other than that, we'll catch you guys next week. Have a good one.
See you out there on the Twitterverse.
All right, have a good one. Cheers.